Asec Mon Cualoping, thank you so much for gracing Joseph After 8. I think my first question would be the most pressing issue right now, which is the pandemic that we are all experiencing. As the Chief Brand Integrator, part of the presidential communications, kamusta po kayo dyan?
This is the most challenging period in the past 4 years that we've been here in the PCOO. I think no other communications team of the government has ever experienced a problem, a challenging time such as this. The age of social media has changed the landscape of communications. So doubly harder, but at the same time, speaking from the heart, it's very fulfilling because all the more in the age of social media, in the age of internet and instant communication and instant information, mas fulfilling because mas important, mas nagiging relevant yung role natin lahat as communicators.
Na-mention nyo na, ang daming sources ng information, especially during the pandemic. How do you make sure that your role and your agency is amplifying the most needed information for the entire Filipino people, for the entire population? What are your strategies that you want to share with us?
I think yung biggest challenge kasi in this pandemic is that ang daming nangyayari sabay-sabay. There's the science of the virus. There's the science of mitigating the virus. And there's also the political side. There's the economic side. Napakarami sabay-sabay nangyayari. I'll put it bluntly here, Joseph. When we thought of Laging Handa back in 2016, the main inspiration was that Yolanda shouldn't happen to us. I mean, let's put it bluntly.
You mean, sir, the magnitude of damage?
The magnitude of the damage because people were left unaware or there was a scarcity of information coming from the government side. Right. I know the private sector drove the initiatives in Yolanda. That was the idea, that the government should be on top of the situation because yun ang role ng government eh. So that was the idea back in 2016. But when COVID happened, we never thought ganito kalaki yung magnitude. When the lockdown was ordered by the President Duterte, we convened the team and we are very grateful to the KBP, to the private media entities for collaborating. But at the same time, as part of free speech and freedom of expression, Joseph, I think this is the most contentious issue at this point. Of course, people have the right to express. People have the right to voice out their opinions, and I am one in telling and saying that everyone has the right to say and express their thoughts. But there's a caveat to that. I mean, from a public policy communicator, the caveat should be we base our opinions on facts, based on data. If it's based on facts, it's based on data, and then you make an intelligent opinion or conclusion, because some people make conclusions right away, that's fine, because that would improve public policies. But if it is for efforts to malign certain individuals or certain people, or to derail the narrative of a whole of nation and whole of community effort to combat COVID-19, then dun medyo may problem tayo, because we will really respond. We read the tweets, we read the posts, whether positive or negative, we read it and we gather feedback and we acknowledge kung saan nagkukulang.
I want to pick up first on what you said about, for example, facts and making sure it's accurate and beneficial to the people. Sorry sir, but I have to raise this. Pero meron ding talagang nagkaroon din ng problema yung presidential communications before. Meron din naman talagang mga errors. Kasama ba yan sa mga learnings ninyo?
Yes.
Kasi kayo yung napapagbintangan na nagdi-distribute ng disinformation.
I'll admit that. I'll acknowledge that there were mistakes. But I don't think that was disinformation. Nagkaroon ng errors, human errors, spelling, grammar, unfortunately, and it is quite saddening also because at least from my end, from my point of view, it is quite saddening kasi each mistake is always amplified. So, pag na-amplify yung mistake, nawawala yung subject matter. Kung ano ba talaga yung kwento dapat. So, instead na pag-usapan yung public policy, for example, napupunta tayo dun sa typo or sa maling pangalan ng ganitong tao na nalagay.
Nanonotice ko rin, ikaw, Asec, we're friends on Facebook. So nakikita ko yung mga posts mo. You are really outspoken about different issues. So even if sabihin natin na hindi, ayaw natin pag-usapan yung politics, I think inevitable, especially with your function. Of course, just recently, a lot of issues are happening. Anti-terror bill, ABS-CBN shutdown. There's a documentary by Rappler recently telling the government is contributing to misinformation. And you have posts about it. Would you like to share some? What are your thoughts?
Sa pangamba ng iilan, lalo na ng opposition, ng mga kabataan. Diba? Trending siya sa Twitter, ang dami posts on Facebook, even my friends, they've asked me. You know, I've read the entire bill. I think this is, at least from my point of view, from a public policy point of view, this improves the Human Security Act of that is existing now. I think it is very specific to what it wants. And the safeguards are very specific also. I know it is highly contentious. May suggestion, and siguro pakiusap na rin sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin tonight. Maybe if you have time, read the entire law, or the entire bill, the prospective law. It's not yet a law, it hasn't been signed yet. The safeguards are there. And then if meron talagang abuse later on, if meron, then meron pa ring relief. Kasi nandiyan pa rin ang Supreme Court, nandiyan pa rin yung korte natin, and napakarami. You know, a Republic Act cannot supersede the rights enshrined in the Constitution. Hindi pwedeng mangyari yung kinakatakutan ng iba na martial law. Na yung, di ba, laging, the past 4 years, yung lagi ang speculation that there will be martial law. It will not happen because the Constitution is very clear about that.
So mabilis lang, itong anti-terror bill na magiging law, pag pinirmahan ni President, it will not silent dissent. What do you think? Hindi. Ito kasing sinasabi ng mga opposition.
Hindi. Because the bill, the prospective law is very specific.
Is there enough safety net to prevent that?
Because, for example, if you voice out something on Facebook or Twitter, if you rally and bring your placards and voice out your dissent to certain policies or to certain issues about governance or about the private sector, then it's fine. That's part of free speech. Mm-hmm. But if you start throwing grenades at something, diba? or threatening lives of people, human lives, then that's something else.
Related to the freedom of the press is the recent ABS-CBN shutdown. I hate asking this because it's already polarizing, and I don't want naman to be, to put you in always the burden to explain for the government. Pero what are your thoughts about the shutdown of ABS-CBN?
This is not about freedom of expression. This is not press freedom, because the franchise was for their business operations on the frequency. The frequency, free to air, channel 2 frequency, plus the frequency of their radio stations. But their license to operate as a business still exists, and they're on social media, they are on their digital channels. Sky Cable still exists. So it's not, I think doon na naman tayo sa semantics kasi I don't think they were shut down. It's just that nawala yung right to air on the frequency. Yeah. Sa frequency na yon, the free That's to right. air. Mm-hmm. Yun lang yon. Now, it is a very complicated issue because And let's admit that the president himself mentioned many times about his displeasure towards ABS-CBN because of personal issues. Personal issues yun. And it same thing can be said about Pinoy and ABS-CBN. And yun nga. But at the same time, the journey of ABS-CBN towards the renewal of their franchise took 3 congresses already. Diba? The 15th, 16th, 17th Congress. Diba? 2 presidents. I don't know what's the issue. I don't know bakit ang presidente lang ang may kasalanan. The answer to the renewal of ABS-CBN should be answered by the people's representatives, not Malacanang. Because I believe the president already mentioned, pag dumating sa desk niya yan, pipirmahan niya. He mentioned that. Hindi dumarating eh.
These are the things that you need to communicate well, diba?
Yes. And in the age of social media, hindi kasya to in one tweet.
Correct.
Hindi to kasya in one post. And sa sobrang bilis ng nangyayari, retweet, hashtag ganito, I don't think ganun karami yung nagbabasa ng buong article eh. Diba? At this point, so kaya challenging.
Ito naman, Asec, I mean directly affecting your function in the communication for the government. Itong Rappler documentary just recently aired on YouTube saying this is clearly orchestrated, planned, well-funded, well-oiled machinery of the government to provide and fight the other side, the other spectrum of communication. Ito yung mga, let's say, mainstream media. Tapos merong isa pang, di ba, tinatawag nga daw na mga army or trolls or bots. I mean, how do you make sense of that?
Okay.
Mahaba rin yung essay mo dyan.
Mahaba rin. First of all, if there is someone na merong communications plan about this and a strategy to speak or to show something, I don't think it's the government. We've seen the doc. I saw the docu. It was well planned. It was well crafted. It was well created. It was glossy, beautiful. Ramona Diaz is such a great filmmaker, right? And Maria Ressa is a good subject. She is always a good subject because at any point in history, ang taong may pinaglalaban is always a good subject. We're very fair, right? She's a very good subject. But that is enough proof na sila yung may plan. You know, first time in the history of the Republic, PCO has never engaged with a PR agency globally. Pinoy did. PCO of Pinoy did. They engaged PR agencies in London and New York para nasa front page ng Philippines, ng New York Times, ng Washington Post. Diba? The liberal newspapers. And then, lagi may interview si Pinoy sa BBC, sa CNN. We never did that the past 4 years because the president does not want it. I think there's no orchestration of things. There is no deliberate attempt to discredit them. But I think here lies the problem, Joseph, because the president is very popular. There are so many passionate supporters of the president. We can see that. I can see that. I feel that. When I post something, I can feel the love of these people. And I can feel also yung frustration nila pag inaaway ang presidente. And I think kaya lalo nag-polarize, Joseph. And I think this should be something that the team of Miss Ressa should also acknowledge. Hindi dahil matapang sila to defend the president, tinatawag na silang propagandists. I think doon lalo na-rile up yung mga tinatawag ni Maria Ressa na DDS. Di ba? Lalong na-rile up. Kasi sinasabi mo propagandists, bots, troll, etc. So, ito yung backbone ng ating bayan, 'di ba? Sila yung bumoboto, sila yung nagsasalita, sila yung taxpayers, sila yung pinagsisilbihan natin. Since 2016, we've been accused of employing trolls. We've been accused of paying people to speak on our behalf to support us. Kahit ilang beses ko nga sinasabi na hindi totoo, ewan ko ba bakit nila pinipilit because kung totoo man yan, sana wala na itong mga hashtags na to. Sana natakpan ka agad itong mga hashtags na to, di ba?
One spokesman of the president is saying the president is using colorful language, di ba? Sinabi niya noong 2016. And I think laging dito nagkakaroon ng parang, hindi ko alam kung tama bang sabihin na misinterpretation or miscommunication on whoever side. Pero how do we make sure, at least on the government's end, that you are publishing, for example, stories, articles, quotations of the president, despite this quote-unquote colorful language of President Duterte?
I think we've said this many times. You know, the president is a storyteller. He loves sharing stories. He loves telling things to people. So he is not someone like Pinoy who would read the speech as in with its entirety, di ba? Yung babasahin niya, nasa teleprompter, dalawang teleprompter, mga boss ko, kayo ang boss ko, ganyan, di ba? Babasahin niya. Tapos, a speech in 5 minutes, in 6 minutes, tapos. The president shares his thoughts, his analysis, his take on things. I think that's what endears him to the people. Kami, PCO, all his speeches are aired live. As in, nandun lahat para at least meron tayong babalikan. Pag na-misquote, ito yung sinabi niya, ito yung actual na sinabi niya.
Mm-hmm.
And second, I know some people from Ateneo, they hate me about this because I really say, I'm an Atenean, but they hate me because I say that, it's the language difference. Because when the president speaks, mixture yan of English, Tagalog, and Bisaya. So nagkakaroon ng nuances. So pag translate yan, nawawala yung meat nung sinasabi and nag-iiba na yung context. Ang next question lagi, ang allegation kasi, yung sinasabi niya, iba naman nangyayari on ground. Which I don't think is true. Everything that the president orders is being done. Sabi niya, Boracay should be closed. Closed. Wala mo ng face-to-face classes unless may vaccine. Yun, di ba? Nangyari naman. Magla-lockdown. Nangyayari. Sinabi niya gamitin ang military trucks para makauwi ang mga estudyante ng UPLB. Nakauwi. Di ba?
Yeah, we have a social media call out. So the question is, etong mga millennial tsaka yung mga hashtag woke online, may pinag-aawayan sila. Yung term na ambag, di ba? Parang laging tinatanong, ano bang ambag mo, di ba? Asec, pag ikaw ba ang tinanong, anong isasagot mo pag tinanong ka, ano ba ang ambag mo, Asec?
If I will answer that would be very self-serving for me. Maybe 2 years, if I'm not part of the government anymore, maybe I can answer that. But at this point, I think we still have a lot of things to do. So, work in progress pa rin. Nasa gitna pa rin tayo ng pandemya. So, hindi pa tapos yung trabaho namin. Pero pag may mga taong nagtatanungan, nag-aaway, sabi ko, the fact na you're voicing out your opinion, ambag mo na yun sa bansa. I keep on saying this. Continue speaking up. Continue voicing out opinions. Continue sharing your thoughts, whether you are pro or anti-policies, anti-establishment, or etc. It is your right. It is our right. It is inherent in our freedom-loving nation. I think ito yung hindi natin na-tackle, Joseph, di ba? Foreign policy. You know, he's not pro-China. He's pro-Philippines. I think we have to clarify that. He is not pro-China. He's pro-Philippines. But he is friends to all nations. Because that's how it should be. We cannot just be siding with one country and then alienate ourselves from the rest of the world.
Naalala ko tuloy, Asec, yung yung talagang binabatong issue kay President Duterte ever since, yung mag-jetski na may dalang flag.
Mag-jetski. Well, that was the campaign, right? Those are rhetorics, di ba?
At part of storytelling, tama?
Yes. Actually, madali naman pumunta ng Pag-asa Island because meron naman talaga tayong territories doon. Di ba? Meron talaga tayong territories. But maybe, who knows, right? May 2 years pa naman eh. May 2 years pa.
Asec, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your time.
Thank you, Joseph.